It is one of the longest running NR2003 offline leagues ever. We're here for now our 13th consecutive year of running a race under the Haas IndyCar Series banner. Here we are at the Auto Club Speedway for the opening event of the 2026 season. This is always a thrilling event here for 50 laps around this 2-mile, now historic racetrack in Southern California. But tonight on a Sunday night, it's IndyCar night in America, and I'm back calling the Haas IndyCar Series for the 2026 season. A huge thanks to Caleb Rose for running this series the past 2 years, but it's good to be back calling some open wheel racing as we're here for the opening event of the 2026 Haas IndyCar Series. This is the California 100. Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to the Auto Club Speedway here on a Sunday night. We're going to have some Sunday night races here in the Haas IndyCar Series this year to give way to the Wall Walk Cup Series and other guys throughout the rest of the weekend. And hey, you know, your weekend's ending, We're here for the opening race of the Haas IndyCar Series, and this is always such an excellent race, and a couple of our most viewed races ever on the channel have been this California 100. In 22, Zachary Fitzwater went to victory lane in this race. Justin Zaidel won this thing. They are both Haas IndyCar Series champions, with Fitzwater being the defending champion of the series. Fitzwater also won this thing 2 years ago. He's a two-time winner of this event. Last year, John Andrews went to victory lane. It is a who's who of who's gone to victory lane in this race, and a who's who in the booth for this race as well. We've got Team Velocitar owner Matt Tuck in the booth, along with Daniel Paulus Jr. And Matt, I'm going to start off with you. It's a bit of a new era for the Haas IndyCar Series. For the first time ever, we've got driver ratings. We don't have any owners ratings, but we do have driver ratings for these 26 full-time drivers. It's also a smaller field, a bit of a shorter season, which means you have to go for it when you can. And the aggression is going to be at the top here tonight for this California 100. What are you looking forward to tonight as we get 50 laps here at the Auto Club Speedway?
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to it here. I mean, we all kind of were discussing this last season, you know, where it's like, you know, boy, this would be fun to see this come over to this series. And I think you look at this field, it is arguably one of the deepest fields across any of the series right now on the channel. It's one of the longest running fields that we have here on the channel, and to see it take on a new life here this season, I'm very excited for. I think we're going to be in for a great night of racing here, kick off the season, and a great season of racing, especially that Indy 250 week. Boy, oh boy, that's going to get exciting.
Yeah, hey, that's only about 3 months from now when we're going to be running the 13th running of the Indianapolis 250. That's incredible that we've been doing that for as long as we have. And Daniel, you were in the booth for a couple of these races last year, so you know what the series is all about. With all that in mind, with the driver ratings, which you're very good at, you got 5 wins in the Wall Walk Cup Series last year. What are these drivers looking to do this season in their attempt to become a Haas IndyCar Series champion?
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting season here for 2026, the IndyCar season. You know, you got a lot of these drivers who are, you know, past champions, and, you know, you got to really figure out where the consistency is, because consistency is key. So if you can start off strong, you have a good chance of finishing off strong. But if you don't start off right, well, you're going to have some work to figure out.
Yeah, of course, this race is crucial to getting a good start in the championship. And, of course, our points format here in the Haas IndyCar Series, you get 50 points for the win, 40 for second, and it increments down. And it's not an even points format like it is over in the Wall Walk Cup Series. So the higher up you finish, the more points you're going to get. And winning these races means a lot. And you also get a point for winning the pole in this series, unlike in the Wall Walk Cup Series. So Charlie Davenport for BO Racing, Bernardo de Oliveira. This is Charlie Davenport's first ever IndyCar race. We got a couple of rookies, but most of these guys have been in the IndyCar Series before. Davenport going to lead us off to the green flag here at the Auto Club Speedway. In this race, we have ourselves a very, very strong field. We got ourselves 5 past Haas IndyCar Series champions running full-time this season. 2018 champion Nicholas Samedeo, 2019 champion Justin Zaidel, 2023 champion Luna Lona, 2024 champion Thomas Troxel, and 2025 champion Zachary Fitzwater. And of course, we have defending Indianapolis 250 champions in the field as well. Brendan Wilmington, our defending Indy 250 champion, returning to NS Racing this year. Angel Gutierrez won it 2 years ago. He's back in the series full-time. And, of course, we have Nicholas Amadeo still in the field, a two-time Indy 250 champion, along with the rest of this field looking to make their name here in one of the longest-running series. We've run at least one race in this series every year since 2014. And I know this all started in 2015, but it was the Haas IndyCar Series back in 2014 as well. That all got deleted back in the day. We brought it back, and there's been at least one Haas IndyCar Series race every year that we've run races on the channel, and it's great to be back. And it's great to be back in the booth to call this as well. And Caleb did such an excellent job keeping this series going for the past couple of years. But I gotta tell you, I missed it. I go to the Indy 500 every year now. I've been there for the past 4 years, and I tell you, IndyCar racing, especially on these high-speed ovals, it is something to behold. And we're going to have a great night tonight here for the opening race of the season. We don't have any points yet, so let's introduce the drivers that we have here running full-time in the 2026 Haas IndyCar Series. There's Charlie Davenport in the number 80 machine for BO Racing, first ever start in the IndyCar Series, alongside Carson Miller, driving the 04 machine for Durrani Racing. This is the 73 for Jacoan Racing Enterprises, and Bruno Diacomo driving this ride. And they got the 27 there of Tanner Parton for Rogeldorn's Dutch Atlantis Racing. Avery Alford joining Hairgel Motorsports in the number 28. He has some history with this team in the Wall Wall Cup Series. Actually won a race for those guys in the Wall Wall Cup Series a couple of years ago. Hairgel back as an owner in the series. Alongside the number 98 are defending Indianapolis 250 champion of Brendan Wilmington, driving for Nathan Stapleton and NS Racing. The number 33, it's Mr. Edge, the two-time Indy 250 champion Nicholas Amadeo, driving for Rogeldorn's Dutch Atlantis Racing. Number 99, this is Brad Stover, longtime veteran to the Haas IndyCar Series, and still reeling from what happened last week in the Daytona 500, driving for Michael Lewis's MAL Racing. And the number 18 machine, that is Aaron Abel, driving for Dracoan Racing Enterprises. Aaron Abel, an excellent driver in these rating series, so watch out for him this season. Here's one of your guys, Matt, the number 63 machine. That is Braden Perez, driving for GRT Team Velocistar. Got the number 13 machine. This is Team Williams, and this is Lewis Bishop. Bit of an affiliate driver there to Duncan Ward, who was in this ride a year ago. Of course, Team Williams, a very strong team in the Wall Wall Cup Series, though they haven't had a good start to their Wall Wall Cup Series season. We'll see if things turn around for him this year in the Haas IndyCar Series, alongside the 40 machine. Long-time Haas IndyCar Series veteran Angel Oliveira there in that number 40 machine there for BO Racing. Number 1, that is Angel Gutierrez, the 2023 Haas IndyCar Series Indianapolis 250 champion. He didn't win the championship in the series because he only ran in that one race, driving for Vision Motorsports and the number 1, Matthew Hubert. I think we might be getting new schemes, new numbers for these guys once we get to the second race. But nonetheless, Matthew Hubert has a strong driver in Angel Gutierrez. Alongside the 54 machine, this is BB Ruiz in his second season in the Haas IndyCar Series, driving for MAL Racing and Michael Lewis. How about Fitzy? And of course, Fitzy has said this is going to be his last season racing full-time. He is a defending Haas IndyCar Series champion. He's returning to Dog Pound Incorporated and Shane Lake's team here. I know what's on his mind. And getting that Indianapolis 250 race victory, he has come so close to that a couple of times before. He's been in every Indy 250. Well, he hasn't been in every single one, but he's been in a lot of them. And I know that is going to be his main focus this year as the defending champion of the series. Number 97. How about Max Anderson, another longtime veteran to this series, and I know he's going to be going for a lot of race victories and that Indianapolis 250 as well. Development driver to Alex in a row. It's always been Max Anderson here in the Haas IndyCar Series, and it's always been Jay Knapp in this series as well. My good friend Murray Papiani, this is his driver, Jay Knapp. You're going to hear Murray in the booth throughout the season. But this is Dog Pound Incorporated's 00. Jay Knapp, a longtime driver here in the Haas IndyCar Series as well. And the only place we ever see Jay as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun seeing what he does in this 2026 season. Number 93, that is Andrew Miller, driving for Evans Ross Racing in the number 93. And Andrew's teammate is going to be Dylan Matthews in the number 39, returning to Echo Evan Ross's team. We got the number 23. This is Thomas Troxel, the 2024 Haas IndyCar Series champion, returning to Team Williams in that 23 machine. And then we got ourselves the other Williams driver, Williams' brother, Logan Williams, driving the number 83 for GRT Team Velocity. 49 machine, 2023 Haas IndyCar Series champion Luna Luna, driving for Blaine Key's BKI Industries. And his teammate is John Andrews in the number 48, longtime veteran to the Haas IndyCar Series. And he had a heartbreak in Indy last year when he was leading late in the going and blew a tire and gave way to Brendan Wilmington getting the race victory. We'll see what he does in the 48 this season. Number 8 machine, that is Bradley Bradshaw, another longtime veteran of the series at this point. Derek Campbell's development driver. Great to have Derek still in the series. And, of course, we got ourselves the number 8 for Vision Motorsports and Matthew Huber for Bradley Bradshaw. Final row, we got Justin Zeidel, who is the 2019 Haas IndyCar Series champion, driving the 86 machine for Durrani Racing. And then we got the number 17. This is Marcus Glitch, driving for Hair Gel Motorsports. That is the 26-car field here from the Auto Club Speedway on this glorious Sunday night. But we've talked long enough. Let's go ahead and get these guys to roll off here in the California 100. All right, I don't know what to expect in this race of who's going to be good and who isn't, but I'm going to give you guys an opportunity. Matt and then Daniel, we got some ratings in play. We got 26 very strong drivers. Who's going to victory lane here in the first race of the season, the California 100 at the Auto Club Speedway?
Oh boy, I think this is going to be an exciting one, and I'll be very, very bold, very audacious in this pick, and I'm going to pick Braden Perez in the 63, and I think he's going to get that car back in victory lane here tonight.
Well, you can take him, but I'm going to pick the 33 Nicholas Amadio. Something just tells me that he's going to have a great season, and I think he can get it done here at Auto Club.
He's got a good team around him there, Rogaldorn, the owner. Of course, there are no owners' ratings here in the Haas IndyCar Series, so it's all about the drivers and what they can do. And they're going to put on a show here tonight. We got a cycle of pit stops in this race, so about a 35-lap fuel run for these guys. So the pit crew will also have to execute here tonight around this 2-mile speedway here in Fontana, California. It's a shame that this track is no more. I mean, heck, the last time I called this race, it was still a active racetrack, but unfortunately it is in the past in real life. But here in the great game of NR2003, we're going to have a lot of fun at this now historical racetrack, the Auto Club Speedway for the California 100. It's great to be back in the Haas IndyCar Series, folks. We're going to have a good one here tonight as we're underway here in the California 100. The Haas IndyCar Series is back for 2026. Wild start. These guys are going to be flying around here upwards of 225 miles per hour, and it's Bruno Diacomo getting a lap led. That is a bonus point towards the championship. Here comes Carson Miller to the inside for the race lead. And Daniel, you picked Nicholas Amadio. That is a great pick for a series such as this, and we have seen veteran drivers win this race the past 4 years. Would not be surprised to see Nicholas Amadio have a good run here tonight. He's all the way up to second as Carson Miller is out front in the number 04.
Yeah, keep a close eye.
No, go for it, Daniel. Go for it.
All right. Yeah, keep a close eye on that 33, Nicholas Amadio. I mean, he's very strong. He has struggled in the Cup Series a little bit, but man, here in the IndyCar Series, he knows how to get it done, and he's in the top 5 right now. So if he can get in that groove, I think he's got a chance.
Your driver, Matt, Braden Perez, now looking to the inside, so both of your picks have found themselves close to the front. Amadio getting slipped up on that outside lane. There's not as much grip up there as there is on the inside. Braden Perez going to lead a lap. We've had a different lap leader all 3 laps so far here in this California 100.
Yeah, I mean, they're shuffling it around, which is, yeah. Exactly what you expect here at Fontana over the years. It has been a very, very aggressive race here at the front of this field, but they're racing clean so far. You want that track position because eventually your tires will start to wear and pit stops will become important here tonight, but as we go, we just keep changing it back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Bradshaw and Bishop making their way to the front of the field now behind the leaders, and the Indy 250 winner Brendan Wilmington has shown up to the party.
Right now led by Max Anderson, and of course early on with these tires as fresh as they are, these guys are cycling through, but it's not going to be that way all night long. Here comes Bradley Bradshaw on the number 8 machine. Has come close to winning the Indianapolis 250. If I'm not mistaken, I believe has been runner-up in that race the past 2 years. So we'll see what he can do with Vision Motorsports this year. But here is the guy who won the Indy 250 a year ago, and that is Brennan Wilmington in the number 98. And Andrew Miller back in the series as a driver. At one point, I believe, drove for NS Racing, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that. Long time ago when he was... No, he drove for Tristan Allen's team. That's a throwback. That's how long ago it's been since Andrew Miller's been in the IndyCar Series. Great to have him back as a driver. And now he's going to peek his nose to the inside of Brendan Wilmington for the race lead. And all these guys are running each other, continuing the cycle. And this is like the 2015 MAV TV 500 all over again. Actually, it isn't as crazy as that, ironically enough, but still some wild stuff here at Auto Club Speedway early on in this California 100.
I mean, only 7 laps in, and you're going to continue to see these lead changes. If we stay green and we get to that white flag, I wouldn't be shocked if we got a lead change on the last lap.
We have seen that happen before. I mean, heck, just a couple years ago when Zachary Fitzwater won this race, I mean, what a finish that was when Caleb took over the reins there for a couple of years. His first race was one of the closest finishes ever on the channel. Fitzwater now up to the 2nd position, the defending Haas IndyCar Series champion. On the gearbox of Andrew Miller, we might start to see these guys cycle it out just a little bit. Fitzwater's looking to go for that race lead as Andrew Miller holds on in the 93 machine for Evans Ross Racing, and Miller will hold on to it going into turn number 3. So now the tire's starting to wear out just a little bit. Here comes Justin Zeidel, who won this race 3 years ago. Last time I called this California 100 was won by Zeidel. 2019 Haas IndyCar Series champion. That was 7 years ago when he won the title in the series.
Wow.
He didn't even win a race that year. I know he'd love to get a win and go for another Haas IndyCar Series title this year with Durrani Racing. And Zachary Fitzwater takes the race lead away from Andrew Miller.
I mean, think about how crazy that is, folks. I mean, we talk about, Walnut Cup Series. 7 years ago, Justin Zeidel won a championship. I mean, just think about that in this Haas IndyCar Series. Here he comes for the lead from the last row of the grid, moving his way through the field, looking very, very strong here in the early going to this race. They've gone down from 3x3 in the back to 2x2, which tells you that the tires are starting to wear here. And this is where the race is going to get interesting because you're going to need to start managing your car a little bit better. And you're going to need to start, this is where you got to start really being careful about, your track position and managing the tires, because those pit stops coming up later will be important. But Zeidel holding the pace, and they're all chasing him at the moment.
Yeah, and you're not kidding about the tire wear. I mean, this track is literally like a cheese grater on those tires.
These guys are going to have significant tire wear come through and affect here shortly, but it's about a 35-lap fuel run, so the whole pit cycle is a little bit later on in this race than your typical event, so we're going to have to see how that ends up affecting these guys once we get to that cycle. And Justin Zeidel out front, he's led a couple of laps right here. Comes Dylan Matthews. She's had a good run in this series past couple of years. Now, one thing that this team is absolutely looking not to do is that when we get to Indianapolis, actually make the race. Neither of their drivers made it last year. It was Alfred and Dylan Matthews driving for Echo's team a year ago, and neither of them made the Indy 250. Of course, I know they have their eyes set on that once we get to the month of May. And hey, it won't be too long now. We're only about 3 months away from the 13th running of the Indianapolis 250. Dylan Matthews is going to take this lead away. Here comes Aaron Abel in the 18 for Dracoan Racing Enterprises. And we have the 49 machine here. That is the 2023 Haas IndyCar Series champion of Luna Lona. These guys, it's been a long time since we have seen a cycle race on the channel. We do not see it that often anymore, but that is absolutely what they have done here tonight. These guys continuing the cycle through, and you know, what we're seeing is quite different than what we've seen in the past of this race, but it really is anyone's game at this point because there's no one who has gotten a clear advantage 13 laps into this California 100.
3 wide for second.
Yeah, I mean, and they're all over the place here. You have to figure once the pit stops hit, you have to figure that they're going to start to space out a little bit here. But you never know. I mean, this track has a way of really throwing anything and everything at you here. And you know, this series in general, Kate, I mean, you know, you're talking about Luke and Lona. I mean, Max Anderson, Jade Knapp. This is a very interesting series. One of the things that makes the series so interesting is there are so many drivers. There's a lot of drivers here, and this really is the only thing that they come out and run here on the channel. But I think that's cool. I think it's cool that we have, you know, men and women who only show up for one series. It makes them adds to the lore. And just lots of great racing going on here up and down the pack. This 04 of Carson Miller, though, this is a guy to watch this year just across the channel. Was fantastic in his opportunities last year, has been great so far in Wawa Cup, and leading here tonight early on.
Yeah, this is a driver who's in a lot of different things on the channel, so he's not one of those guys who is a one-trick pony like some of these other drivers in the series. How about Judge Zidell, who's finding some success here for the Durrani 86 machine right now. And then you have the 54 machine also on the inside. First time we've seen BB Ruiz up front in this one. No, BB got a couple of wins, or at least one win last year in this series. Of course, Michael Lewis, one of the new team owners here to the Haas IndyCar Series as well. Here comes Brendan Wilmington. What a run there for Wilmington in the 98 machine, and these guys are getting incredible runs on that inside lane and just continuing cycling through here. I mean, everyone's been up front at some point in this race here tonight.
Yeah.
And it's definitely anyone's game. And Bradley Bradshaw was up front just a few laps ago, now at the back of the field in that number 8 machine. But what is going to determine this race? You know, we're cycling now, but that cycle of pit stops will spread these guys out, and it's going to come down to just a couple of guys once we get to the end of this here at the Auto Club Speedway.
Yeah, I think everyone's going to have a shot here leading at some point, or at least contending in the top 10. But you know, when it gets to that pit cycle, you're gonna want to have a great stop, because that's what's going to keep you in contention here for the race win.
Of course, once we get to Indianapolis, the racing that we're going to see is going to be vastly different than this. We do not cycle there in Indianapolis anymore. You definitely have to have speed in your car here. It doesn't seem to matter. It's a big equalizer here at the Auto Club Speedway. It's once again another pass for the race lead, and you got 99 of Brad Stover taking it away from Brendan Wilmington. You got 99, 98, 97 all in a row up front right there. And about Max Anderson here in this number 97 machine. We got some 4 wide here. We got to be careful not to get into it there. They have done a great job here tonight, not getting too close to each other, but anything can happen at any time at a racetrack such as this. And that is the 63 machine there, Braden Perez. In the middle of all of that right there. And kudos to you guys at GRT Team Velociter for actually changing the schemes up on the 2 cars, so we actually know who's who. This is Logan Williams here, moving up into the top 5. Thomas Troxel, Dylan Matthews, they're all led by Brad Stover. And you know Brad Stover is thinking about what happened last week at Daytona in the 500. Well, he's got an opportunity here tonight to completely change all of that and get a win here in this California 100.
Yeah, I mean, Brad Stover last week, I mean, that whole team, one of the worst ways that I think I've ever seen an organization have to suffer defeat, and to do it on the second biggest stage on the channel is just absolutely brutal here. And so, like you said, so many interesting storylines here tonight. I mean, Dylan Matthews, this team, both of the cars at ERR missed the Indy 250 last year, which is just devastating. And I'm sure that they have this circle this year to be much better on these big ovals here. You know, you got Thomas Troxel up in here. You've got the 7. I'm so sorry. What in the world am I looking at here? You have the 99. Yeah, you have the 70. You have the 73 Bruno Giacomo, the other side of the coin to the Daytona 500, who had a disaster. His motor blew under caution as we were coming right back to it. And now he's coming right back to the lead. He's gotten a lot more time out in front there recently. Brendan Wilmington, the Indy 250 winner. So many interesting storylines here. And race one of the season, we're already going at. Hey, they had a cycle race at the Daytona 500, by the way. Like, you know, we can have one here. Yeah. We can have, if they can do it in real life, we can have one here every now and then.
I'm going to be honest with y'all watching. This is probably going to be the only time in the season you're going to see a true cycle race here in the Haas IndyCar Series. A lot of the other high-speed ovals we go to, the speeds in the air work in such a way where it's kind of hard to go side by side. You know, we might be seeing a bit of a change here. Maybe. We're single file in the first 4 rows. It doesn't stay that way for too long. These guys just pull right up on each other and dive right down into the corners. And Dylan Matthews getting the move there on Brendan Wilmington. How about Carson Miller? He's found himself up front. You know, we're seeing it. We tend to see this in cycle races here on the channel where you tend to find some of the same drivers consistently up front. Now you're seeing Max Anderson, Brad Stover, Brendan Wilmington. They've kind of stayed up front for a lot of this race. Same with Carson Miller and Dylan Matthews. They've found themselves up front a little bit more often than some of the other drivers in the field. So we'll see. You know, once we get to that cycle of pit stops, which it's only going to be about 10 laps from now when we get to it, it's definitely going to get interesting to see who has the advantage, and you definitely want to be further up in the field once that cycle begins compared to the rest of the field. And how about Bradley Bradshaw? Just a few laps ago, he was at the back of the field. Now he's back up inside the top 5 here at the Auto Club Speedway.
Dylan Matthews holding very strong here for second, trying to battle for the lead here. And he's been consistently in the top 5 most of the night. Once he got up there, he really never left.
Bradley Bradshaw has gone from the back to the front to the back to the front here tonight at the Auto Club Speedway, halfway through this California 100. What a run here for Bradley Bradshaw. And it looks like he's going to try to take the lead away here from Bruno Diacomo in the 73 machine. Great run for Diacomo in this race. Of course, it was a tough run for him in the Daytona 500, as we very well mentioned. And Bradshaw going to take it away there from the 73 machine for the top position. Brad Stover back in line again. And also got Thomas Trox trying to make some moves up here. It has not been a good start to his Wall Cup Series season at all. Tough run yesterday at Atlanta. Not entirely sure what was up with those guys at Pacific Racing. But Troxel has found a bit more success in this series. Won the championship in 2024, 2 years ago. You know, he'd love to win in Indianapolis 250. We'll see if that ends up being the case once we get down to it in May. Heck, I know he'd love to win this race as well, as Bradshaw continues to lead Giacomo crossing back over. These guys are able to kind of stay in the top 5 a little bit easier now and cross back over for this race lead. That's definitely making this racing incredibly interesting here, because it has evolved throughout the night with how well these guys have cycled through and how some of these drivers have been able to keep themselves up front in this race.
Yeah, and I think that's, as you've seen the tires wear out, you are seeing the top line be a touch more viable. Dylan Matthews, she was really ripping it around the outside there. Bradshaw's doing his best here to try and hold the top. You can see the pack visually has more single file bits in it. And I mean, we are going to be closing in on pit stops here soon. It is going to come, and we will be making that venture down pit road here soon. But it's Diacomo, Abel, Bradshaw, Matthews, Troxel. There's so many heavy hitters up here and so many drivers with some things to prove here this season, and 21 laps to go. I will give Bruno Diacomo credit. I mean, he is proving that that Daytona 500 pace was not a fluke, and he is really stepping up to the plate this year on the channel.
He's trying to do all he can. It's been a tough career for him over in the Wall Cup Series, and he really hasn't had as much success over here in the IndyCar Series either. But here he is at Dracoan Racing Enterprises. Of course, those guys already have a win in the Wall Cup Series. Skep Silver getting him now a win a few weeks ago at Homestead Miami Speedway. I know you guys were happy about that. But how about Carson Miller in this race as well? And, Carson Miller is really one of the hottest drivers on the channel. And we'll have to see how his Wall Cup Series career goes, but he's now got a couple years under his belt here in IndyCar as well. Lenovo Pro Series champion from a few years ago, and how about this? They have absolutely found themselves in a single file run right now. These tires have worn out to the point where they can't really keep it side by side anymore. And look at this. They're all following Bruno Diacomo now here at the Auto Club Speedway as they're single file all the way back to around the 15th position. And this is a bit more what we're used to seeing here in this race. These guys going single file and having difficulty getting those runs to the inside, and Bruno Diacomo able to hold on to it for now here on lap 32.
And I think you're going to see that just because of the pit stops coming up. So I think they want to get in there clean and not wreck each other.
Of course, if they're single file, going to be a lot easier for them to merge down to the pit lane. But this is the racing that we're used to seeing. The cycle has stopped, and look at this. They're single file nearly throughout the entire field here. How about that? And how quickly things have changed here. Dylan Matthews going to try to get this move made on Carson Miller. She's going to be able to do it. That's a spot right there, but Miller looking to cross back over. Bradshaw looking to get a run as well. Bradshaw really got a run going into the corner. And are we going to start seeing some of these guys peek down? We are. Here we go. Cycle beginning a little earlier than we expected, but they're going to be able to make it from here on out. Dylan Matthews, Bradley Bradshaw. That's the 48 of John Andrews, Brad Stover, Max Anderson. A lot of guys in the back of the field. We haven't seen many of these guys. Lewis Bishop. We haven't even mentioned Lewis Bishop this race at all in that 13 machine. Kind of how it's been for Duncan Ward in the Wall Cup Series first few races. How about Charlie Davenport still up here as well in the 80 machine? It's going to be 4 tires, and of course, for those of you who might be open wheel purists, this is a NASCAR simulator, so they go left and they go right and then left. I know it doesn't look as realistic, but these tires are still very important in this race. As you got Brad Silver with that first pit stall right there, already off the pit lane. Bradley Bradshaw going to beat out the 39 of Dylan Matthews. And I do believe that is for that top position. Rest of the field coming down now. So 2 split strategies. 1 lap right after another right here. They're still going to be side by side. And Matthews going to give way to Bradshaw right there for that top position of the first set of drivers. Now here comes everybody else. They're led by Bruno Diacomo, who is still officially the race leader. And he started up front in this race, so he's got a good pit stall, good pit selection. We'll see if that gives him an advantage here for his pit stop. And once we come around next time by for Bruno Diacomo, or whoever the race leader is going to be, it's going to be 15 laps to go here in this California 100, and Diacomo already off in the 73 machine. Here comes Thomas Troxel in the 23, going to get out ahead of the rest of those guys right there. And you see, in the fray right there, you got Bradley Bradshaw in the 8 machine looking to speed his way around these guys coming off the pit lane. I don't know if he's going to get to Diacomo, though. That 73 is out ahead by quite a bit, but these guys are going to gang up on him because he's all by himself right now out front here in this California 100.
And it's not going to take a lot of time. Give it a few laps and they'll be able to catch him.
Yeah, and we've seen over the years here in the IndyCar, you need some draft on these ovals, so I don't know if you know, Bradshaw's actually in a nice spot because he's got a couple cars with him queued up here. I don't know if I'd want to be Bruno Diacomo here. I mean, you have the French tires, so run into the wind as best you can. But if he gets chewed up here and these guys get a little organized here, we could be in for a very exciting 4-car battle here.
No doubt about it.
I mean, Matthews and Troxel and Bradshaw all on each other. Then you got this pack here. They're going to be even faster. Led by John Andrews. How about that owner? No, that's Luna Lona. No, that is John Andrews. Sorry. That is the 40. No, that is Luna Lona and the 49. Sorry, I can't really see the number. That is the 49 of Luna Lona, who is the 2023 champion of the series. You got Aaron Abel, Carson Miller, Marcus Glitch is up here. Nicholas Samadia win this pack. Same with Brad Stover and Charlie Davenport. Troxel trying to get around Bradley Bradshaw, and they are absolutely closing in on Bruno Diacomo, who has no help, and he still has 13 laps to go until the checkered flag flies here at the Auto Club Speedway. And this pack is majorly split up compared to how it was. Guys who do not have good runs going for him. Jay Knapp there, Angel Gutierrez at the back of the field. You got Lewis Bishop and Avery Alford, who are effectively teammates in a way over in the Wall Cup Series, and you got Gutierrez there, Jay Knapp, not a good run there for BB Ruiz. Tough break there for Brain Perez and Logan Williams. I know that's not at all what you guys wanted to see. Brendan Wilmington, John Andrews back here as well. Tanner Parton in the 27, haven't mentioned him all race. Fitzwater struggling there. He's back there with Andrew Miller. And you got the 40 machine of Angel Olvera. Max Anderson, Justin Zidell. Then you got the biggest pack here, and these guys are absolutely going to merge back in and close in for this race lead. And I think anyone from that 04 Carson Miller on up has a very good shot at winning this race here tonight. Going to be 11 laps to go at the line for Bruno Diacomo and Dracoan Racing Enterprises. Dracoan won the opener in the Wall Cup Series. Will they get the opener in the Haas IndyCar Series here tonight at Auto Club Speedway?
Well, I'm keeping a close eye on that 8, Bradley Bradshaw, just because of the experience that he has. I think he can get it done, but I want to see what happens when he gets a run here.
How about Thomas Troxel? He's absolutely got experience here. He's a past champion of the series. And a huge run coming up here for Thomas Troxel on the gearbox of Bruno Diacomo. And will he be able to make the pass right here? 10 to go here in the California 100. 20 miles left, or 4/5 of the way, 80% through this race. It's been a wild one so far and a great season opener here to the 2026 season. How about Marcus Glitch up to 5th and for the race lead? Here comes Thomas Troxel. We got
There
fresh
it is.
Firestones on
There
all
he
these
is.
cars, and they're going to be able to make that move easily to the inside.
Yeah, and it's a huge run to the inside for Troxel as he's going to take the cheese car with the Grattan engines under the hood to the lead here at Auto Club around Diacomo, but Diacomo's going to have a little bit of help if Bradshaw sticks to the outside. Bradshaw's going to cut down to the bottom. Oh, Dylan Matthews, is this the moment she's going to go from 4th to 2nd? Not there yet. Oh, but you can see also, though, that second pack of cars is right there now, and folks, buckle up. That is your top 10 runners. Oh my goodness.
One of these
you've got
10.
10 cars.
One of these
10
10's
cars
get
to
it.
settle it.
It's going to get wild here
Anybody
for the
who's
finish.
inside the top 10 to win this race.
How about Nicholas Santillo in this pack? You know, it's been a while since he's been in a position like this. And for the race lead, you know, you were talking about Bradley Bradshaw there, Daniel, and there he goes for the race lead on Thomas Troxel. Has the nose to the inside. Marcus Glitch, that was from that 3rd pack, or the 2nd pack. For Hairshell Motorsports, looking to take this spot away. And now Marcus Glitch side by side with Troxel for 2nd. Meanwhile, the rest of these guys are still closing back in, and they're going to have a shot. And we could see a cycle form in this 10-car pack for this race win in the California 100. Next time by, going to be 6 laps to go here at the Auto Club Speedway. Bradley Bradshaw out front for now. Marcus Glitch to the inside for the race lead. Brad Stover's been up front pretty much this entire race, a chip on his shoulder from last week at Daytona. Now he's going to have an opportunity at the race lead and the win as well. 6 to go here at the Auto Club Speedway.
And Marcus Glitch, we were talking about Brad Stover and Diacomo. Marcus Glitch started on the last row of this race. Oh my goodness, what a run there from Stover and Diacomo. I mean, what an unbelievable...
the runs that they're getting are insane.
The runs are getting insane. What an unbelievable comeback story.
Oh, we might go
We
3
talked
wide.
about it. Oh, here we go.
No, we're not.
Here we go as Diacomo's going to pass his cup
How
teammate
about
to the
this?
inside. That's an
no, we might get
unbelievable
three
story
wide.
if one of them is able to pull it off and win this race after what happened at Daytona.
Yeah, I mean,
We get
it's
3 wide
very
for a
possible that could happen. You got Nicholas Sanbedillo here in the 33 now, charging his way forward. These guys are a lot closer on each other now as well. Carson Miller on the inside, Luna Lona, Aaron Abel is a guy to watch out for. It's the other Dracoan car. And for the race lead, here comes Nicholas Sanbedillo to the inside of Bruno Diacomo for the race lead here at the Auto Club Speedway. 4 laps to go in this California 100. All these guys right on each other and a lot of points at stake. It's only a 16-race season. You got to get the points when you can, and this race victory is going to be huge towards the championship. Luna Lona trying to split it 3 wide, unable to get to the inside of Carson Miller, and Nicholas Sanbedillo going to be able to hold on to the race lead. Single file out front, going to be 3 laps to go next time by for Mr. Edge and Dutch Atlantis Racing. Rogal Dorn, the owner of this team. Aaron Abel coming in fast here in the 18 machine. Looking to the inside there for 3rd, but Sanbedillo still out front here in the California 100.
I don't think I would want to be leading right now with 3 to go. I think I'd be one to in and maybe possibly third or fourth. Get that run, coming to the white flag, and take the lead there in the last lap. I do not want to be in the catbird seat here.
Carson Miller's going to get a run to the inside. Nicholas San Mateo, that 33, trying to get the outside lane to work to his advantage. He's got an opportunity to cross back over here, though. Will he do it? Dylan Matthews closing in fast. Troxel and Marcus Glitch as well. And Carson Miller back out front in the 04 for Durrani Racing. Here comes Dylan Matthews, Marcus Glitch on the inside. And I think you're right, Daniel. It's all about being in the right place at the right time here at the Auto Club Speedway. And that San Mateo's not going to be able to get back to that inside. That's a shame for him, but Thomas Troxel's back on the inside. Marcus Glitch as well. Carson Miller out front. White flag in the air here in the California 100 Auto Club. Here comes Thomas Troxel, the GRT-powered Team Williams machine. He's in a great position to possibly steal this away. Will he get a nose to the inside of Carson Miller? Yes, he will.
Here we go. Yes, he will. He's going to have a run inside.
How about Thomas Troxel side by side for the race lead on the final lap of the race? Charlie Davenport started on the pole. He's there in third, but it's Thomas Troxel to the inside, taking it away from Carson Miller. And Thomas Troxel, the 2024 champion, driving for Andrew Williams and Team Williams. It's Thomas Troxel getting the win in the California 100 at the Auto Club Speedway. How about that?
Woo! What a race.
I don't know if we're going to see anything like that the rest of the season, so cherish it now. That was anybody's race. And after an absolute abysmal performance yesterday in the Wall Cup Series at Atlanta, he makes up for it here in the Haas IndyCar Series. 2024 champion Thomas Troxel adds to the list of highly experienced drivers winning this California 100 at the Auto Club Speedway.
Well, I mean, look at the talent that this man has. I mean, he's won in the Cup Series. He's won in other series before. So it's no shock that he's winning here in the IndyCar Series, but great performance, was sitting there in third and fourth, made that run, got that run, and used that run perfectly just to get this win here at Auto Club.
That was absolutely a great race to start the season off. And hey, you know, I got to apologize to so many guys for just how this came together the way that it did. It was a bit of a mess, and we really crunched it in, and even some of the schemes really aren't even done yet technically. But I know I wanted to get these cars on the racetrack, and I wanted to get the season going because we really set up for the Indy 250, 13th running of the Indianapolis 250 this year. We are so excited for that. If that does not get you excited for it, I don't know what will. There are your finishing results. Thomas Troxel, Carson Miller, Charlie Davenport, great debut to the series. Marcus Glitch, Bradley Bradshaw, that top five. I don't think the ratings really came into play too much tonight. We'll see what they do next Sunday night at Circuit of the Americas. Completely different racetrack. But, Matt, got to ask you, I don't think we're going to see this again the rest of the season. How special is it to win a race like this if you're Thomas Troxel?
No, I mean, it's huge. Anytime you can open the season up with a bang, you know, it's a great feeling. I think he showed some great pace there in the second half of that race. I think a lot of those guys were very competitive. You know, it was fun. It was fun. It was very chaotic. It was very Mav TV 500-esque. I like that. I like that we got to see some guys that I think are going to be some players. You know, the ratings haven't fully taken into a shape yet. They're here. But, you know, it takes a little bit, as we all know, to develop. But there's definitely some guys up here you saw, even though it was a cycle race. Those are not names who accidentally end up here. So just keep that in mind as we go later in the season. But, no, great way to start the season. Yeah, I think we're in for a absolute banger if this is anything to take from it.
And how about Thomas Troxel? I tell you, this is a guy who's been around since pretty much the very beginning on the channel. He's been in this series for a long, long time. And, you know, this race seems to just favor those long-time guys. Zachary Fitzwater, Judson Zidell, Fitzwater again, John Andrews, Thomas Troxel. I tell you, that's definitely a who's who of who's won here at the Auto Club Speedway in the Haas IndyCar Series. And Daniel, it's going to be completely different next week, but how about Thomas Troxel, and does he have the momentum to go into a road course at Circuit of the Americas next week and continue this up and go for his second Haas IndyCar Series title?
Well, yeah, when you look at Thomas Troxel, I think, no matter where we go, I think he's always going to be in contention for top fives and wins. I think since he started the season off strong here tonight at Auto Club, it looks really good so far towards that championship, even though it's the first weekend. But there's no doubt in my mind that I think he can get it done on a road course just from the experience that he's had on multiple road courses and, just the talent also. But he always provides with good finishes, so there's no doubt in my mind that he would possibly be up there for the win, but if not, at least a good top 5, top 10.
We'll see what happens next week. For Firestone Indy, Texas, their first road course of the season in the Haas IndyCar Series. Those road courses are always very interesting in the series as well, and I think when we add the ratings, especially get to some of the road courses later on in the season, it's going to get really dicey and really fascinating in the series. Well, hey, thank you guys so much for watching here on a Sunday night here from the Auto Club Speedway. It all came together, but we got it for you, and it was a great race. And Thomas Troxel goes to victory lane once again in the Haas IndyCar Series, getting the win here in the California 100 for Andrew Williams and Team Williams. Those were two guys who had probably career worst days yesterday at Atlanta, and they came through together and overrode all of that, got this opening win in the Haas IndyCar Series. What a drive out of Thomas Troxel here in this California 100. Well, huge thanks to Matt Tuck and Daniel Pauls Jr. for joining me here tonight. Here are the point standings for the Haas IndyCar Series after the first race of the season, and we'll see you guys next Sunday night for Firestone Indy, Texas from Circuit of the Americas. Congratulations to Thomas Troxel for winning the California 100, and I will see you guys later.